In a move that took the continent by surprise, the Shield of the Americas carried out more than 5,000 arrests in a coordinated offensive between Ecuadorian forces and the United States Southern Command. This massive operation showed that the international coalition is not just talk, but is actually taking highly lethal action against narco-terrorism. The impact of the arrests was immediate, putting pressure on Brazil's presidential office, as the current president finds himself at a crossroads. Toughen the fight against domestic criminal groups, or watch Donald Trump authorize direct attacks on vessels and logistical structures linked to organized crime. With nighttime curfews in areas dominated by drug trafficking, Ecuador has shown that integration between local and international forces can effectively suppress the crime crisis. This strategy, which combines intelligence, military presence, and continental cooperation, has been consolidating as a model for tackling the problem that can be replicated in other countries. The Shield of the Americas, being the most powerful coalition ever formed in the region against factions like the PCC and the Red Command, makes it clear that the fight against narco-terrorism is just beginning. Welcome to Vida No Quartel. The pressure on the Brazilian president grows every day, even in the face of his statements of closeness and sympathy for Donald Trump.
And now I'm friends with Trump. Now he keeps saying we have chemistry, like it was love at first sight.
The United States has made it clear that they intend to redraw the political map of the region, with promises to free Cuba from repression, and even speculations about turning Venezuela into a new American state. In this scenario, any criticism from the Brazilian leader towards the actions of the White House could be interpreted as a diplomatic break, opening the way for the Shield of the Americas to move concretely against the factions operating in Brazil. Meanwhile, the terror imposed by the PCC and the Red Command continues to haunt communities throughout the country. The population, tired of violence and the feeling of insecurity, is beginning to see the integration of Brazilian police forces into the Shield of the Americas as a possible definitive solution.
Society has reached its limit. Society has run out of tolerance.
The expectation is that joint operations can eliminate the common enemy, showing that Brazil is not isolated and can count on international support to suppress narco-terrorism. However, for this to happen in Brazil, it is necessary for local authorities to join the international collective effort. The recent presence of CIA Director John Ratcliffe in Cuba further reinforced this perception. His visit signaled that Donald Trump's administration is planning a profound reset in Latin America, where regimes that are complicit with crime and oppress their people tend to collapse.
It's frightening. A wave of robberies is terrorizing drivers in the largest city in the country. The noise sounds like a gunshot inside the car.
This movement intensifies the pressure on Brazil, which needs to choose between aligning itself with the new continental order or remaining vulnerable to the advance of criminal factions.
Thanks.
The Southern Command has an impressive arsenal and highly trained forces to confront narco-terrorism. These are elite units, combat aviation warships, and intelligence systems capable of monitoring communications and movements in real time. In addition, the firepower includes armed drones, attack helicopters, and troops specialized in urban and riverine operations, ensuring an immediate response capability against any attempt by criminal factions to expand. As for Ecuador, which managed to arrest about 5,000 criminals, it shows that even without being a military power, it can become an example of efficiency. With international support, the country expanded its military and technological capabilities, investing in monitoring systems, surveillance drones, and rapid deployment troops.
Let it be clear, the priority is Ecuadorian families and territory. For the past 11 days, the Ecuadorian army has deployed Operation Podocarpus, which aims to regain full control of this national park.
The Ecuadorian armed forces are working side by side with the national police, and the judiciary is prepared to ensure arrests lead to actual convictions. This integration has strengthened the fight against crime and has proven that with strategic partnerships, it is possible to confront powerful organizations. This shows that to defeat the gangs, it is not necessary to be the strongest, but rather to have the wisdom to recognize their weaknesses and act together. Narco-terrorism operates transnationally, crossing borders and exploiting security gaps. That's why the responsibility to fight it does not belong to just one country, but to all of the Americas. The progress of the Shield of the Americas makes it clear that only with international cooperation will it be possible to crush this common enemy and restore peace to the populations living under the rule of crime.
I think it's long past time to join efforts and stop treating security as an electoral calculation, figuring out how many votes it will get me in 4 years.
The arrest of 5,000 criminals from various parts of South America showed Brazil that speeches alone are not enough in the face of the growing strength of the gangs. Crime in the country has been advancing systemically for decades, eroding institutions and corrupting public officials and politicians. While many stick to the narrative, state police forces bleed on the front lines, trying to contain the advance of crime and violence. This reality exposes the fragility of a system that for decades allowed narco-terrorism to take root and become a national threat. That's why the desperation of the current Brazilian president is revealing. The Shield of the Americas will not stop. The international coalition has already demonstrated its ability to act quickly and forcefully. And when you least expect it, the Southern Command may come knocking on Brazil's door. Leave your opinion here in the comments and tell us if crime has gotten worse under the current Brazilian government, or if the rise of criminal factions is a systemic problem that has been happening for decades. And for you, fighter who doesn't compromise on quality oral care, the Oral-B Pro Clean electric toothbrush is the right choice. Being more efficient than a manual toothbrush, it provides a professional level clean in just 2 minutes, helping to prevent gingivitis and keeping your teeth always protected. With a water-resistant ergonomic handle, removable head, and fast recharging, the Oral-B Pro Clean was made for you. And the best part, for less than RR00, you get your electric toothbrush delivered straight to your home with Amazon Brazil's delivery guarantee. By clicking the link in the description or the pinned comment, if you're subscribed to Vida No Cuartel, you secure this amazing deal. Here at Vida No Cuartel, you stay up to date with everything happening in the military world. Leave your like, subscribe, and watch one of the videos that's appearing on your screen. Onward, fighters! See you next time.